Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be having a look back at Sprocket. I'll be making a tank and showing you basically my little process. So my idea for this video is to basically make a Super Sherman, not a direct copy or a replica of the Israeli M51 Super Sherman, but one basically taking the idea of just making the Sherman as best as it can be. So first off, start with the hull and then go and select the freeform Sherman hull, because it will be the easiest to select because it's already basing that correct shape. So first off, just make it larger. Here we go. Seems decently large for a Sherman. And if you look over here, you can see quite lengthy, almost 6.3 meters. But I think it should be even longer. Yeah. And to make this little rounded part at the front for the Sherman, basically the weldings. So simply go and split these repeatedly. And what I'm basically trying to do here is trying to create a lot of points so I can move them around. So here I'm just going to speed up the footage so you can just see I am splitting the different faces to get more points so I can give the Super Sherman this rounded shape at the transmission. Yeah, so splitting faces or splitting edges rather, is a good way to give yourself some more points, a bit more freedom to move stuff around in the sprocket. And it's a bit more advanced than the regular generated uh, like turret and hull you can use, but it will come with time once you get more experience with the game. What I'm going to do is do a slight little extension of the hull. Basically give it a little extra welded on hull appearance. So on the sides, move it a little bit out, like so. Just a little bit of detailing and changes how this looks. So now it stands out more, which is what I want. Here, once again, I go back to the front because I'm not quite happy with the shape. So I'm just gonna keep moving stuff around and reshaping the front. And that happens a lot in Sprocket where you basically keep fiddling with stuff, keep moving stuff around to get the shape you want or try and replicate a shape of an actual vehicle. Now moving to the back to also give it a little bit of a rounded shape at the back of where the engine will be. And it's hard to see. So what I do when it is hard to see, go to paint it, condition max, and then hue to basically like this, and keep the brightness up so it is far easier to see what's going on. So you can see the line is definitely not correct. It is this one. So that's a little tip. If you can't see what's really happening with your tank, then simply coloring it a little bit lighter, or a lot lighter, so you can actually see what's going on. And then yeah, continue adjusting it, just trying to get a nice little rounded shape at the back. Lovely. And checking it, there we go, that looks nice. Now I'm going to move on to the engine deck of the Super Sherman build. First off is to just come on, select, there we go, do that, and then span tilt there, what this does is basically, yeah, look at the points, faces it, leaves the space open, and then I can work with the engine at this section. So I'm going to make it a bit smaller as well, cutting a bit here and a bit here, so I can put the detailing for the engine or the engine's deck there. Let me know what you guys think about where I build and if you build the same way, or maybe you build it a different way. I'd like to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comment section below. Thinking of adding the MG port over here, so what I'm gonna do is again select an edge, find the correct one. No, this one, and then split him. Have a look. Yep, seems about right. And then MG port's gonna be over here. So a little tip that I got to mention is to when you do something that's asymmetrical, remember to turn off mirroring, because otherwise you're gonna have points do random stuff that you don't want to move around. Like here when I'm making the MG port, I don't want to move the rest of the hull's upper front plate at all, but I forgot to turn it off, so that was kind of annoying with this build. So I want this tank to be quite mobile, so let's give it a 12-cylinder engine, let's make it 2 liter. That has quite a bit of power in it. You can see only 620 horsepower. Pretty much a lot for Sherman, I think. But we fill in with the other values for the mobility later. So now just quickly testing it. Very mobile, because it has no armor yet. Now moving on to the engine deck, trying to figure out what I'm trying to make, or the shape or look that I'm trying to make for the engine deck for my Super Sherman. I'm first experimenting with the preset engine vents, but I decided to do something different. So what the grid snap will do when you are making turrets and or other compartments like this, being a custom compartment, is basically sync those two sides up with each other. It'll make it way easier to make something. So what I mean by a custom compartment is you basically take the freeform box-shaped turret and then you shape it to whatever form you want. So let's say you want to make a custom mantlet so it can traverse faster, or make another turret underneath your turret so your turret can traverse faster, like more modern vehicles, or if you want to make a custom engine deck or part or side skirts even, then you can take this turret and then shape it to that object you want to make it, and then basically also give it armor value, so it makes the build more realistic. But it is a more advanced building technique in Sprocket, but I'd say it is fairly simple at the beginning, and then later on you can make more complex builds with it. I'm just trying to fiddle around with the preset engine vents to get the look of the engine type of deck I'm looking for. And there's a lot of resizing, reshaping, and moving around, and that's what you would probably do with these builds, is just move stuff around a lot, reshape it to try and get a look that you want. Well, there is a little engine deck for the new Super Sherman. Very simple little engine deck, but sometimes simplicity is the best. Especially when it comes to tanks, I'd say the simpler it is, the better, because there's a lot less that can go wrong if it's a simpler tank. Yeah. At this point, I'm just moving stuff around a bit, reshaping it, trying to get a different look or better look for this vehicle, fine tuning the stuff, messing a bit with the mobility and stuff of the vehicle. And that's in Sprocket. Basically, what happens is if you're not happy with the thing, change it, move around, experiment with stuff, and try and get a shape or a desired look you want. Like here, for example, I am not happy with the front rounded part of the where the transmission is for the Sherman, because I see how large the attachment for the sprocket is, or the sprocket mount, and that is more realistic type of shape for the Sherman, where my shape was a bit too small, not big and round enough for it. So here I go and change the points, move around the faces, trying to get a better looking shape, a more realistic looking shape for the vehicle. I decide to add this little extra plating at the bottom, like basically made for mines, so it's deflecting landmine explosions underneath the tank. But yeah, this is looking pretty nice. I do so myself. Yeah, back to the mobility. As you can see, there's quite a lot of customization when it comes to both the shape of the vehicle and the mobility, as there's a lot of different road wheels and other wheels that you can select and also tracks and move around with this. You can also adjust the suspension of the vehicle, the thickness of the road wheels, the spacing of the road wheels on the axle and also from each other, and also the return rollers, either enable them, disable them, how thick they are, spacing, and all that sort of stuff. Moving back to the little mobility. Yeah, seems very nice. Now for this. Is that quite a bit? Two. There we go. Yeah. Still 620 horsepower, which is, I think, maybe where I'm going to keep it. Depends on the weight of the vehicle. But yeah, let's work on the armor for the tank. So first off, this entire front section is going to be 100 millimeters, if not more. Because remember, we're making a Super Sherman. It's going to be way better than the regular old Sherman. They have a nice big gun, big powerful engine, and a lot of armor. Gonna make the ideal Sherman, if you will. So yeah, nice layers, that, and 100. Look at that thickness. Another thing I like to do with my builds is basically select all the faces and select either 10 or oftentimes more like 20 millimeters to basically make sure everything is at least armored. So the lower plate, upper plate, or roof rather, of the vehicle, and the bottom of it, sides, and the rear. And then I often go and armor the actual parts that will need armor. Now look at that. The angling makes it way better. And if I'm selecting all these faces, sometimes it can take a lot of time when there is a lot of plates. But it's kind of a way, if I select all of them, at least 20 millimeters is something. Or maybe like for a turret, I would go for, if it's a cast turret, something like 50, 80 millimeters, all of it, and then either decrease like the roof and maybe the turret ring and at the back, or increase the front and the sides of the turret. And still seems pretty mobile to me. And that's what we want. We want a pretty mobile Sherman. Let's just see mobility. Oof, it's gone down to 18.5 horsepower a ton, which isn't bad, but It wants it to be better. So bump that up. That's 28 with almost 940 horsepower. So let's just decrease it a little bit. Yeah. Roundabout. So we want our tank to go a little bit faster, so use it with the gears a little. Yeah, 50-ish kilometers an hour. Yeah, should be fine now. Now, moving, I will do the detailing bar at the end. So, first off, good old little this that the Sherman has, and our turret will now basically go here. Very nice. I will build the turret in the next video, so stay tuned for part 2 of my Super Sherman build.